with A.R. Shaw, Miss Berry, Portia Monique, and Oscar Romeo International. He didn't push the little bit. Nice and bright, birds are chirping, and there's no sound. Woo-hoo, time to get ready.
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping,
and I'm ready to fly.
Time to get ready, ready
for another day.
No one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play.
Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great.
You do your best, best,
and I'll do mine,
mine. So let's get ready, ready, ready. 'Cause it's about that time. Good morning, morning, you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, time to wake. Good morning,
your dance and play.
Good morning,
so start today.
Good morning, open your eyes. Good morning,
reach for the sky.
Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do?
Good morning.
You see me on my grind.
Woo, stars got to shine.
I'm a supernova.
Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah,
I'm on the move. I got a way to stride to it. So let me hear you say, every day we gon' learn and play.
Hey, it's your day. It's Rolling Out AM coming your way. We are the superstars of the TV. Rapping in this morning is where, and here is the place to be. It's A.R. Shaw. It's Tierra Berry 2. It's Portia Monique from the D and Romeo Think. That's what you should do. So anyhow, you guys, how you doing today?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I'm good. Sad because I fell asleep before I could watch LoveCraft last night.
It was a song. Wonderful. Go ahead, Portia. You're wonderful, Portia.
Wonderful.
Go ahead, Miss Berry.
Wonderful.
All right, we got it. That was beautiful. How about you?
Go ahead. Man, I'm gonna try wonderful. Sorry, I wasn't blessed.
It is a wonderful morning. We're here.
You gotta carry a church tune.
No matter what you say, we're here for you. It is the AM show.
Hey, I say that ain't one of my talents. Yeah. God said I could write. He's gonna give me a talent to write, but not sing. And I was like, okay, I'm good with that.
He'll be the choir director.
So you can drop some bars on it. You can drop some. It's a wonderful morning. Do your little talk. Freestyle on it.
Oh yeah. I'll be Diddy on the beat. Talk over the track.
Yeah, take that.
Happy to see y'all, man. Good morning, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Hope everybody had a dope weekend. Good weekend, man.
Yeah, man.
Finale. Did y'all enjoy the finale?
Tell you something.
I didn't watch it yet.
I missed
I'm
it.
Binging. I'm still binging the rest of the season. And here's the thing, like I gotta watch it when ain't nobody around because my phone is ringing. Somebody knocking on my door. Somebody want to talk. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm looking at
EXEUSES.
No. I was binge watching all day yesterday, and then I got a knock on my door to say, "Ma, I got a game at 1." Like you got a game at 1. I promise you, I wasn't trying to do nothing today.
Already, like 8 weeks.
Let me tell you.
That's not called binging. Binging you would have started Friday.
No, binging is doing it all in one day. That's how I binge. I like to do mine all in one day, back to back to back to back to back.
That is not your life, just so that you know.
I found out yesterday because I got a game at 1.
It's just like all the moms out there. They have to have some new skill set growing. because literally they're not getting a break.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to all the moms, because you talk about being a super mom. Woo. You know, if you're out there by yourself, definitely get some help or even support if you're feeling overwhelmed, because it seems almost impossible not to feel overwhelmed in this moment.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, they just announced that in the Atlanta public schools will be out for the entire year. So parents in Atlanta will have to deal with their kids.
And that's all levels.
And yeah, so for the next year, like Atlanta public schools will be virtual learning. So the parents will be dealing with their kids until next September. So,
well, I'll say this about last night. I have never in the history of my Game of Thrones, my Star Wars Amir, my Avengers, I had to text the director last night. I have never in history felt so in tune to an actual show like LoveCraft. Never have I watched something on the edge of my seat every episode, because there's a clearly, you know how you watch most movies and you know where it's going? I didn't know where this was going, what it was going to do. I enjoyed it so much. I was like, I text Renee. I was like, hey, thank you for this experience, Renee. This was one of the dopest television experience. It had just so much symbolism in it. Man, let me tell you something. I'm going to start over from episode 1 today.
That's what I did yesterday.
It definitely needs to get renewed. I personally believe that if this show is not renewed for season 2, it's some racism behind it.
Oh.
Well, it won't be.
Right.
It'll be a different LoveCraft. It won't be a season 2. This was actually, they just this episode. That was it.
Okay. But there's going to be more LoveCraft.
Correct.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
No, like one of those limited series. It was a limited series.
So kind of like a Power, and then there's a ghost book thing. How they're doing like that. Okay, I'll accept that.
But nah, excellent, man, excellent. If you haven't watched it, you
yeah.
What happened? I don't care about spoilers. Y'all
don't say.
I don't care, because I'm gonna watch it anyway. Somebody tell me what happened.
No.
I don't know. You talk about spoilers, AR. It seems as though there's spoilers. There are lots of Black people trying to spoil the election. We
got Ike coming on. Isaac Hayes III. He's gonna come on at 9 a.m. and we're gonna talk about. He's been going back and forth on social media this past weekend with guys like Snoop and Russell Simmons, who have of course jumped in Ice Cube's corner regarding this whole thing and his meeting with the Republican Party and the Trump campaign over his contract with Black America and their platinum plan. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna definitely dig into that whole fiasco. It's a whole thing, man. The thing is, it's like even if Ice Cube was sincere in his desire to help Black America, it's like, you don't go into a situation without someone that can help you out. Yeah. Like, wow, if you don't walk in there with Maxine Waters, if you don't walk in there with Cory Booker, somebody that's gonna look at a plan like, oh, this is crap. You need to, because they would have looked at that it's because it's a one sheet bullet point thing that has no policy connected to it. Mm-hmm. No Congress would ever pass this platinum plan. But if you don't know that, then it's like you're gonna get duped. So if I don't know something, I'm not gonna walk in a business meeting with a corporation and not take Munson and say, okay, Munson, what if they trying to sell us an ad and I don't take Munson in there, I'm looking crazy. So you got to take people who know what they're doing into these rooms. So
I agree.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm tired of everybody skating, man. Yeah, I watched social media all weekend, and I'm just over giving people passes, man. Him, Kanye, hey man, just dumb stuff. But hey, to each his own out here in the world.
Well, I think the question for the Black community is, do we want to have a Black agenda and can we have collective thought? You know, the question is, can we as a community have collective thought that everybody benefits?
I think collective thought is it's necessary, but it can get hard sometimes. You know, even if you think about who was it, W.E.B. Du Bois versus y'all help me. Who was
Booker T.
Yeah, it's like sometimes we all have the right thing in our heads, but it's hard to get everybody to have a monolithic opinion.
I don't know that that's monolithic. I think there's some principles that the two of them share. Definitely an intellectual pursuit. I mean, you know, it literally, when we make these comparisons, and I think it's the absence of history and social media being part of the narrative. I think that there's no question about there were two men of intellectual pursuit.
Yeah.
And I don't think never in their narrative was that Black people don't need to succeed. And this is kind of like a yes or no. You're either, these are two votes, or let's act like you should consider these plantation owners and everybody going back to the plantation. I don't think that was ever the offering.
But I kind of agree with Tiara. Like, there's never going to be a unified front. Ice Cube can't speak for Romeo.
Yeah, well, see, so it's never going to be a unified front if y'all keep going into it with the expectation that it can never happen.
Well, but hold on. Let's make sure we all get to distilling the principle. And the principle is kind of like Black on Black crime. Should we really be able to shoot your brother? There's a principle. Should the narrative of the success of our community come before yours? I mean, it's not one versus the other, Romeo. We don't all, but I have to agree that young Black men should be able to have a place in society, and I should support their advancement. That's a period. That's not a maybe. That's not a comma. That's the principle. The principle of us is we want to be 30% of any place we spend our money. That's a principle. Tiara, that we want to be secure that no matter if you're together or not, and you're a Black father and a Black mother, that y'all can agree on it. There's going to be a college education, or there's going to be a skill set exchange, whatever that is. But when we think the narrative right now, we know that how many federal judges have been appointed and how many were Black?
Right.
There was 193 federal judges appointed by the Trump administration, and not one had been Black. So
when you have principles like that, and you can measure, you can count these. This isn't math you can't do.
But Mr. Steve, you can say that because to give you credit, you're attached to community. You're attached to the streets. You're talking about people who, first of all, some of these Black dudes, you're talking about people who so detached from what's going on in the real world. They can't speak for me. Ice Cube cannot speak for me. Kanye cannot.
Now, but before they became these politicians, so to speak, they were able to speak for you. They led the charge for the Black community. They stood up. They said,
I think the Black community abdicated their position and gave it to music culture. I mean, that became the narrative. I mean, at the end of the day, they said, this is culture. This is culture. If it's not hip hop, it ain't culture.
Do you think that the Democratic Party as a whole represents the Black agenda, or are there just really good politicians that are in the Democratic Party?
I think you have to be in the process. I don't think that it's stuck on party. I don't think our agenda is just stuck in party. It's in policy. It's in the fact that we want to elect our own community.
Right.
Right. We want to make sure. Not only, if you think about it, look at, Memphis. It needs a Black congressperson where they don't have one, and they are the majority. So when you think about these ideas, these ideologies, they're just principles. We're not even evaluating, Romeo, whether you follow them. You just want to follow the math and follow the money. If you follow the math and you follow the money,
right?
Mathematical principles. I'm not even into the party, because that deludes our conversation. That's what we don't control. So once again, I don't want to get spun, do I, Amir? But we on a community agenda or not. It's just like talking about health. Either the entire community, Romeo, wants to get to the point where we're all doing 5,000, 10,000 steps, or we as a community don't want to do better. It's just that kind of narrative. It's just using numerical principles to move us forward. But we've got Miss Ebony Austin coming on. Hey, Ebony.
Morning. Both parties reached out to Janelle White.
If y'all haven't started your watch party, start your watch party. Share the show. You are live with the
Hey, Ebony.
Morning.
Call.
What's going on, Ebony?
Where's her sound? Ebony, can you hear us?
Okay, I'm gonna read that, Janelle. Are you frozen?
She's not frozen, but it appears that she can't hear us.
Yeah.
So while she's trying to figure that out, I'm gonna read this Facebook comment from Janelle White. Janelle White said, first of all, everyone is totally Huh?
That's Janelle Witt. That's Janelle. You know Janelle.
First of all, everyone is Ice Cube. He didn't grow up in Compton with a silver spoon in his mouth. Eazy-E didn't get all the way to the White House by being less than smart, and forget one thing about Ice Cube. He never had dinner with the president. Oh, but in Atlanta, y'all let T.I. and Killer Mike speak for the community every week, all the time, all year long. They have been doing that. What does T.I. and Killer Mike speaking to the community have to do with Ice Cube making decisions over a budget according to Amir without the proper voices in the room? Janelle, that makes no sense.
What is she talking about?
He's saying that we underestimate Ice Cube and his intelligence, I guess, of his plan. Let me tell you something.
Nobody's underestimating him. He just spoke out at the wrong time. Nobody's underestimating him. He spoke out at the wrong time. It's causing division and it's causing confusion. It was just the wrong time. And he didn't have backup with him. Like Amir said this morning, if he would have had somebody go in with him that was well-versed on policies and procedures and politics and all of the laws that need to be changed, maybe it would have been a great thing, but really not at this time, because we go to vote in about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And I'm going now today too. I'm going today to the county clerk's office to get my ballot. I'm bringing it home. We're going to do it as a group, as a team, the kids, my mama, everybody. We're going to review it and then we're going to drop it back off.
Like that. I agree with you. I think it's the timing. I think that we need to see who's going to be in office come November before we have more discussion on what's going to be the actual Black agenda.
Yeah, so for Janelle, which is my friend, and I love Janelle, but I just want you get. So the thing is, it's like when it comes to celebrity, Malcolm X had this whole thing where, and it's a clip that's going around that says, we like the Black community is the only community where we anoint our celebrities to be leaders for our communities. Like there's no white celebrity that's a leader for the white community. We're like the only community that allows that. So the thing about Ice Cube is he could have been sincere, but you can't there's been people who've been working on policy for the Black community for decades. You can't just bring out a contract for Black America a couple weeks before the election and think you're going to change when it's been people doing this ground that's been on the ground doing this work for years. I mean, years they've been trying to put these policies through. So if you're not having a conversation with those people, I can't really say that you're sincere about what you're doing. Because you could have got on the phone and talked. Maxine Waters is in LA. Now you could have talked to Maxine. Maxine Waters is right around the corner. If you guys know Maxine Waters, her district is right in the hood in LA. Like she's like in the trenches. That's her district. So if you're not going to talk to Maxine Waters before you have a conversation with the Trump campaign, then I can't really say that. I can't really trust your word, because it's like you're not going in there with the most powerful force in your own district. Like she represents the community that you come from, and if you don't walk in that meeting with her, I can't really say that you're really trying to do a contract that's going to help Black America. So That's my only thing with Cube is that he didn't really come with that force that's needed because he got duped. You know, that's the whole thing. He got duped, and his ego unfortunately allowed him not to see the plot.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Can you hear us now?
She can't hear us. We can see her, but she can't hear us. She's not connecting with the audio.
Yeah, I definitely think before.
Can we give her a call to walk her through it?
Before any rapper just walks into the White House, there needs to be a collective gathering amongst us first, and then we say this is what we're gonna take to them. Get a Maxine Waters, get an Angela Rye, get a group of opinions together, and then take that. Don't just say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to the White House today," and then come back with something. It's like no. It
was definitely mixed with arrogance. He had a lot of arrogance going in, and sometimes, and again, this is why I consistently say, if you're one of these people that is, celebrities or whatnot, entertainment mogul, CEO, you need some people that's not going to be yes people around you. You need some people that's going to be grounded, that's going to be able to speak some sense into you. Make sure that you're humble. Make sure that you don't have this Jesus complex, because a lot of people do, especially when they get up there. Like, you need some people around you that can check you.
Yeah, let me help y'all.
Should have had some people that said that's not the best idea.
Help us, Romeo.
Because y'all trying to explain to people. So I'm gonna give it to y'all in the Romeo fashion. Since she said Maxine Waters would not have got invited. Okay, you're probably right. But let me give you some clarity. Let's just break it down like this. Ice Cube deciding where $500 billion goes to the Black community. Ice Cube. This is your choice out of everybody in the world. Cube. Now, a lot of people gonna say, well, Romeo, you can't say Cube don't know how to do that. Yes, the hell I can. $500 billion. Ice Cube making the decision. Come on, bro. It's that simple. Get like Tiara said, get somebody in the room who know what they're doing. There's no way in hell you're gonna tell me that Ice Cube is qualified to tell the United States of America.
Right, and that's where it needs to be. And of course, we would love to have Ice Cube's opinion. I think opinions are necessary because there's different layers and different types of people. When they ask us to vote, they know that not all of us are politicians going out to vote. So I do think that voices matter, whether you're in politics or not. But I do think that as a collective, it's a group of us that have to be able to go in there. And it can include Ice Cube, but he doesn't need to speak for all of us, if that makes sense.
And if Ice Cube got the invite and he said the only way I'm coming is if I'm coming with Maxine Waters, guess who would have been in that room? If he would have got the invite and said the only way that I'm coming is with an Al Sharpton, he would have been in that. They all would have been in that room. So it's not a matter of Maxine wouldn't have got the invite. They wouldn't have spoke to Ice Cube if Maxine wasn't in the room or if Al Sharpton wasn't in the room.
I don't know that narrative works. I think the other thing when you see counselors, they said,
or you just don't go.
I think at some point don't go to the meeting.
Right, or you just don't go.
Like you're being used. Like at the end of the day, it's more, they don't even want to go to bad meetings. They know when you've been used. Like they're not even interested in you being anybody for them, but a divider. Somebody particularly when they think that there are many Black young men, males, that will and can be persuaded. Morning.
Good morning now, girl.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Wonderful.
We're trying to figure out this menu called life, and I know you got a great idea. Everybody, why don't you introduce yourself again? We know that you're a big entrepreneur for sure.
We want you to turn your camera too before you do that. Yeah, can you turn it sideways?
One more time.
You got to take the lock off. You got to take the lock off and then do it.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Did you take the lock on your phone off? Yeah, it normally does it. It's not working.
Okay, just flip it the other way.
Yeah, it's not working.
We're going to go there because we'd be lost you again and don't want to lose you. How are you?
Don't worry about it. Uh-oh. Somebody calling now. We lost you, Ebony.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
We're gonna go with
Don't worry
that.
about nothing.
We're gonna figure it out. So how are you this morning?
I'm good in yourself.
Entrepreneurs during COVID. You are an entrepreneur. Why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know what you're facing? Because, we want our community to see itself, and obviously you are that entrepreneur. What shirt are you wearing?
Oh, it's my shirt for Nouveau for my restaurant. I own Nouveau Bar and Grill in College Park.
All right.
What's it been like as you've pivoted during COVID? When you think about it, how is life closer to a menu?
It's been hard. Nothing's impossible, but it's definitely been hard. Every day is something different. You're changing something. It's just preparing for the unknown, which is extremely hard. You never know what's coming, what to look for. But every day if you practice every single day, it just gets better. So now we look at things a little bit different. And I think that's what helps us be prepared for the unknown. When you look at things in a different light, you can kind of understand a little bit better versus thinking that every day, quite naturally, we know every day is different. But when the unknown happens, you just got to be prepared. And I think that when you practice every day, that kind of gets you the next step closer.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You've decided, everybody's trying to figure out what they should do. What about entrepreneurs who are trying to consider getting on a menu? What are you putting on your menu new that you never thought you'd do as an entrepreneur?
Something that I never thought I would do. I would say to any entrepreneur that's looking to start their own company or whatever, I would say study now more than ever. Knowledge is key. Mm-hmm. Knowledge is power. Is something that no one can take from you. So I think that I always researched anything before I did it, but now I'm triple checking everything.
Yeah.
And I think that that's, for me, I think that it's just doing research, having knowledge. No one can take it from you. It helps you to get to the next step. So I just think it's kind of triple checking yourself, triple checking your business so that you're knowledgeable for your business. That's what I would do now. I normally would do research, but now I'm triple checking everything.
So Ebony, Munson asked you when you first came on, and then he went into another question. He didn't even give you a chance to introduce yourself, tell us who you are, tell us about your businesses and all of that.
Our host on Mondays. She can introduce herself. She's a host. She'll start coming on at 8 to talk about being an entrepreneur. But Portia, don't you come for me one more time?
I'm just saying, but so we talking to her. We don't know her businesses.
Well, why don't you just introduce
I just want her to introduce herself. Ebony, please introduce.
So I own Nouveau Bar and Grill in College Park. I also own my own real estate investment company.
I love that.
Build in a couple of different states, and I also have investment properties where I'm from in Chicago, and I am a part owner of a salon, and I also own a transportation company.
I love that.
How many businesses is that?
That's 4.
I love it. I
How
love it.
much income is that? Yes.
I love it.
Love it.
Thank you.
Talk about your journey to diversifying your income, because a lot of times people ask you, what do you do? And they expect you to only be able to do one thing. As a Black woman, what made you decide I'm going to diversify my income and get multiple streams?
Well, you know what? My entire life, I've never done just one thing. One thing is good enough for me. So for me, once I perfected one of my businesses, I went into the next one and started it. For me personally, I've always done one thing, got it right, and then I moved to the next one so that way I can spend time on my new business,
right.
that's necessary for it. But I've always been like that my entire life. It's never going to be one thing for me. It's always going to be what's next? What can I do next? How can I move on? But in the process of me moving on, making myself knowledgeable and doing it every day for me, consistently every day. So it's the late nights, right? It's the early that we get up. That's just part of being an entrepreneur. It never stops. And so I just kind of got good at one thing, and then I kind of moved on to the next one, and then so forth and so forth. But I've always been like that. Like, I'm never going to stay in one field. I'm going to always keep expanding.
So talk about the process of perfecting one and then moving to the next, in terms of after you perfect it, you get it to where you want it to be, and it's basically kind of running itself. I'm not sure if that's the case with you, but how do you pivot and then put all of your efforts into this new entity and go full force in that without thinking about if this over here is working, if it's right, if it's flowing, like if you got the right team in place, like how do you manage both of those?
Yeah, how do you treat all your kids the same?
So for me, I started off with my real estate businesses. And when I did my real estate company, I was still working in corporate America. But what I did was I went to school, I took up all the classes. I knew that I didn't want to be a realtor. I just wanted the knowledge of it. And so, like I said, my first property was amazing. My second property was a disaster, but I learned everything from my second property. I learned about the tenants that would never leave, the court systems. I learned about the growth in real estate. So like I literally took every day and I pushed it into real estate. Even though I worked the 9 to 5, I still made time. So I set up a time where at night I would come home and I'm literally in my books studying real estate. But a lot of it came from experience too. Right. So once I felt comfortable enough not to forget about it and move on and put a team in place, but once I trusted my team enough and knew that they cared about it just as much as I did, I was able to go ahead and go into the next one, but still look back on my first one. So I never forgot about it. I just kind of shift gears and then over like what happens on my day-to-day. So I just kind of like not put it in someone else's hand because I was always involved in it, but I built it enough to where they knew that at all times I'm focusing on you guys. I'm watching my team. I'm watching my contractors, because anybody in real estate knows that contractors can be a nightmare sometimes. Or you're gonna always have your hand in that business for it to be successful. So I just shifted my attention a little bit, but I still focused on my other companies.
So being an entrepreneur, of course, time management is key. How do you how do you plan out your day that says I'm focused, or your week or your month that says I'm focusing on this business on this day? Or do you pay attention to all of them every day? How does that work for you?
In all honesty, I pay attention to them every day.
Yeah,
literally
know that.
Okay.
Every day.
And Portia, as you try to get an education on there, just understand entrepreneurs are watching the numbers. Maybe she needs some details, how you're actually measuring, how you use annual performances to actually understand whether you're doing it. Your bank's going to ask you the same thing. How are you performing numerically? What are your year-to-date numbers? And what goals did you set when you started the year economically as it related to processes? So obviously COVID, most people were either down, didn't have the same, but the question was, were you out? And I tell people when they ask, I said, it's about survival sometimes when you have a limit. It's like, did you make sure, the necessary cuts? There are lots of companies that did not want to cut, did not want to close, but it's like, do you drive yourself into bankruptcy or do you cut? And it's not like you want to cut anybody on your team. And then if you have people that don't see your dream, that's an issue. But year-to-date numbers really are key for entrepreneurs. Where are you based on this year versus on last year? If you just started, are you meeting your projections? And maybe that's a closer conversation.
Perhaps, but I asked what I asked.
But what you asked was...
Go ahead. Like, I asked what I asked. You wasn't even on screen.
Detailed.
I'm just saying. Okay. Ebony, I'm sorry. Go ahead, girl.
So when I look at my numbers, what we projected, my real estate company, in all honesty, during the pandemic, never shifted. So we're on track for real estate. When the pandemic first happened, of course, my restaurant dropped like 93% in sales. So quite naturally, of course, there had to be some cuts made. And then now we're back. Actually, we're back stronger than ever now. But yeah, my first 2 months, we dropped 93%. My second month, we were right there with it again. And then again, you kick into survival mode. You don't watch your think. At some point, you got to kick in and say, hey, look, let's change this. That meant changing my menu. And that's part of the menu for success. You're going to change up some things. You can write out a plan all day long. The unknown happens. That plan does not work anymore. You got to come up with else. What's next? How can I, be effective? Because my team depends on me. So them to depend on me, I immediately jumped into survival mode. And this being my first year owning a restaurant, again, never in a million years would I have expected this. No matter how much you plan out your day or whatever, you just don't see this coming. Along with probably the rest of the world, none of us seen this coming. So it was just a matter of jumping into survival mode. Imagine only doing of what you did last month, or your projected sales, 7%. That's horrible. But you don't sit there and cry about it. You come up with something. That meant I changed my entire menu. So there was times where it was just me and my chef and my bartender in the restaurant every single day. And we worked from open to close as if the restaurant was open. But in that time, we figured out new menus, new drinks, to-go menus. How can we be effective on social media? So I think it's not watching yourself drown, jumping into some survival mode and figuring it out.
Well, I love it, love it, love it. We have you on for several more weeks. Can't wait to talk to you next week. We'll jump into some of those other businesses. We'll also jump into what Munson was suggesting, whatever he was suggesting, girl. We'll jump into that too. But thank you so much for coming on, Ebony. We can't wait to talk to you next week. Give our viewers some knowledge, drop some info on them, all of that good stuff. And we will see you next week.
See y'all next week. And don't forget, on Saturday, our first year anniversary, and we're dedicating HBCU's homecoming.
So, all right.
Yes, it's going to be.
will be in the house.
Yes, Spellman.
It's going to be amazing. So if you all are out, and we got marching bands coming, like it's going to be the HBCU homecoming. So for people that's never been to a homecoming for HBCU, they can definitely come. It's Saturday and it starts at 2.
All right. So we're going to push some people there. All right. We'll talk to you soon, Ebony. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, what we got next? We got reports.
We got reports.
I hear Spellman one more time.
Don't do that,
she brought Portia. Did she not bring up it's a HBCU thing?
That's the PWI in him. Come on, we talking about reports.
I'm just engaging in conversation. Okay, so we're gonna do my report.
Yeah.
So Kim K actually had an interview with David Letterman where she discussed working with the Trump administration on prison reform. The bulk of her interview was basically her saying that she did deal with a lot of backlash for working with the Trump administration, but she was really happy at the fact that she was able to get a lot of Black incarcerated people out of jail working with them. So
Kim Kardashian got more Black men out of jail than people who have been fighting to get Black men out of jail.
She said her husband is a Black man, so she needs to make sure that she's doing her part.
Husband. She has 2 Black sons,
and she got 2 Black sons. Ain't that girl 2 Black kids? 4 Black. How many kids she got? 4.
They have 4. 2 boys, 2 girls.
Yeah, that girl.
is Kardashian getting more black men out of jail than people who have been.
I mean, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Her dad, Robert Kardashian, you know, he was big on the O.J. Simpson case.
Man,
I'm just saying.
She needs to make sure she doing her part to keep her black men out of jail. So she gonna do what she can. Kudos, boo.
Amir got nothing to say.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say on that. I mean, it's the thing is, man, when you dealing with like someone like a Trump, he loves celebrity, right? But I mean, his reform isn't really reform. So I think when people talk about criminal justice reform, they can't be duped. He's actually, you know, putting in laws that's going to hurt prison reform. So I think people need to really, like, when they look at headlines, they need to kind of go back and do their research. They kind of say, oh, she's doing this or he's doing that.
Right.
I would just tell people to really like read the numbers of prisoners who were released under Trump versus the Obama administration.
Yeah, I definitely think that Trump does a lot of things to get people's praises. And a lot of times a Black incarcerated person might get their livelihood and all of that back, but it's at the expense of people thinking that Trump is for Black people. So we just have to be mindful of the fake news and the agenda that he's pushing to make us think that he's for us when he's really not.
So let's not use fake news too, because fake news is something that has been kind of misinterpreted. Let's just call it a lie.
He's the liar. He's just a liar. Like, I don't even understand how you think you're gonna talk to him about anything and really expect any type of semblance of the truth. He's the liar. Like, why even go there? He lies. Like, everything that comes out his mouth is a lie. Like, it's not worth your time to go talk to him because he lies. He's a liar.
So what do you guys think about Kim continuing to do prison reform? Do you think that Kim Kardashian at her level or in her celebrity can continue to be a part of changing?
Well, I mean, Kim is working with a few black attorneys who's on her team, who's helping with this. And I think there's also sisters that we need to kind of highlight as well, who's on her team, who's actually doing the groundwork. So, you know, maybe my thing is, you know, for the people who are actually doing the work and they actually pulling the strings, we definitely need to highlight them. And it's not wrong to use your platform in that manner, but I always tell people to kind of read the fine print at all times.
I mean, she's doing some work, so I don't want to take away from the work that she's doing. She's gotten innocent Black women out of jail. Well, I don't even want to say innocent, but the one story that's coming to mind, it was an older Black lady. She helped to get her out of jail, so she's doing her part. So kudos to her for doing that. I don't want to take anything away from that.
Yeah.
But talking to Trump, I don't know, whatever. Let her do what she do. As long as she's doing good, she's not being manipulated. She's not endorsing her husband for running for president and pushing that agenda. Hallelujah, that she's not pushing that agenda. Kudos.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on. So Cardi B deleted her Twitter due to the amount of backlash she got for reconciling with her husband, Offset.
Good.
You say good?
People need a life. Like, why you sitting up here commenting on what she doing? Dysfunctional relationships go through that. Y'all ain't never been in a dysfunctional relationship before? Go try one. It's fun.
That took a turn for the worse.
Just saying, no, it's fun until it's fun.
Dysfunctional relationships, you should try.
Dysfunctional relationships are fun in your 20s. You have to go through it in your 20s. Dysfunctional relationships are not fun in your 30s and in your 40s and in your 50s. Do it in your 20s. Have fun, then move on. Learn from them, then move on.
Well, this is what socially a lot of Black women were saying. They were saying that this synopsis doesn't help Black women, because what you're teaching and what you're showing Black women is it's okay to go back to chaos.
Well,
like,
okay.
you put nobody put Nobody put themselves into her relationship. She did that. Nobody put themselves into that whole chaos. Her and Offset did that. So he hurt you 2, 3. I think it's like his 4th time or whatever like that. And now you upset because people in your business, and you keep going on social media telling people your business. You explain why your titty popped out. You explaining why you took him out. You explaining why you broke up with him. Like, you explaining. Nobody asked you to explain crap. So yeah.
I do think it is easy for celebrities to get bullied on social media, though. And I think that as an influencer, once you get a certain platform, it is a lot to take in, because there's different communities that will come at you. And I don't think that Cardi B is actually emotionally equipped to always handle, the amount of backlash that she gets.
But who would be emotionally equipped to handle the amount of backlash that she receives from doing what she does with her life? Like, at the end of the day, it's her life. Like, y'all, go get one. Go get a life. Stop commenting and being so involved in her love life and her relationship that you don't have a life. Like, what are you doing in yours? Like, leave her alone. So what? So what? And then, Romeo, to your point, you said she's not being a good example to Black women or women in general because she keeps going back to her husband.
Not me. I don't care. But socially.
Okay, so socially, so people are saying that. What are y'all watching in your own families? Because I can see you that y'all got some role models or some aunties and some mamas and some friends that's going through the same thing. Are you sitting up there telling them the same thing that you sitting up there telling Cardi B? Like, look in the mirror. Leave her alone.
And people need to know how to think for themselves. There's a lot of influencers out there, but how you live your life or how you choose to make decisions about your love life should not be based off of what Cardi B is doing and what Cardi B likes to do. Like, people need to learn how to think for themselves as well.
Right.
Leave people alone. They signed up for it. Everybody that's on the screen right now, we signed up. Let's be clear. I'm gonna teach y'all a lesson today, man. It's Monday. Everybody on the screen right now, we signed up for any comments that come our way, good or bad. Why? Because we're public figures. Why? Because we're influencers. You can't say I'm a public figure and I'm an influencer and then change your mind when the heat comes. I've seen Amir write exponential, that's not a word, articles. And half of it is love and half of it is, well, why did he say that? Is Amir up here pouting? No, because he know what he signed up for. So she knows what she signed up for. Y'all just want to give people passes. Stop giving people passes.
No, it's not about
she deleted her account.
Yeah,
let me take control of it. I don't want to hear nothing else that y'all got to say. I don't have enough discipline to not read them. So let me just remove it. And that's what she did. She removed it.
I agree with that part.
Yeah. So
I think it's really hard being an influencer in general. But once you get to the amount of fame that somebody, I couldn't imagine what Cardi B has to deal with every day.
Well,
that's a lot.
At 28, it is a lot. If she was a little older, she probably would not give a damn. She probably would be like, I don't care. It's a lot of older, more seasoned celebrities that are like that. They like, I don't give a damn. So what? Look at a 50 Cent.
But he's a troll. So, he love it.
That's what I'm saying.
He learned the game.
More experience. You'd be like, so?
Well, my fault. I feel bad for her too. Oh my goodness. Oh, I am so sad. Okay.
I understand people need to get out her relationship. So what? She provides us with music. You can like it, you don't have to. Get out of a relationship. So what? She putting it out there. It's fine. It's like, you don't have to comment on it. You don't have to. Next.
Next story. I got one more. So AMC is now allowing customers to rent out theaters for $99 because they are doing so poorly with having people come and check out their movies and the movies that's out. Streaming is doing exceedingly well. Nobody's really thinking about going to the movie theater anymore. People don't like the idea of sitting with strangers. So AMC's one of their last efforts to save their brand is to rent out movie theaters to groups of people for $99.
Groups of COVID-free people?
Like if you could have a party at the movie theater basically and bring all of your friends and stuff like that.
Let me tell you something. This is
Private
the perfect.
screening.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was about to say. This is dope. This is the perfect time for all my filmmakers, all my creators and stuff like that. You ever want to film on the big screen? It's the perfect time. I
didn't even think about it like that. That's a good idea.
I run it quick. Seriously, I'll be buying it out every week.
I don't know about the cleanliness of them, because when you think of theaters in the past, right? So pre-COVID, in the past, you'd be like, "Oh, is that a?" So they haven't been the most clean, right? Because people go in and out, and they don't clean them in between the movies. They don't clean them well, anyway. So it might be a difference in COVID where they thoroughly clean them between parties. So I don't know. Romeo, when you do it, let me know how it is.
I got you. I'm definitely gonna pick up that opportunity.
The germaphobe in me is like, I'm good.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like what Blockbuster failed to do when Netflix came out, and it's like you got to learn how to pivot. So I think AMC is kind of trying to fix a problem a little bit too late. I think they should have kind of got an idea of what it would look like for people going to the movies 6 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So the world back. That ain't happening, Captain.
Yeah, ain't nobody about to go fill up theaters with strangers no more. I'm not
about to go sit with y'all either.
All right, let's move on to some Black history. So on today, October 19th, back in 1944, was the first day that the U.S. Navy started to accept Black women into that branch. So, you know, kudos to all the Black women who go out there and serve every single day in the past, in the present, those who are willing to go out there in the future. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Yeah. We're going to the social report next. Romeo, what you got? Did you want to tell everybody about your surfing experience or no?
No.
You went surfing.
No.
Light, y'all.
I made everybody footage and throw that footage in the trash. No. Hey, it's the Rolling Out Social Report this morning. Happy Monday. Wherever Ashley take me, I'm gonna go because Ashley, I don't know if she got her hair done.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I got you, Ash.
Hey, all my rappers that's in the business, man. We got a rapper who bragged about getting money from unemployment scam, and guess who caught him? The feds. And guess where he right now? Arrested. Fontrell Antonio Bangs, whose rapper name is Nuke Bizzle. That was your first L. Whose rapper name is Nuke Bizzle, is connected to an alleged scheme fraudulently obtain unemployment insurance benefits under the coronavirus aid relief, and use that money to shoot his videos and buy his jewelry and cars. First of all, I didn't know there was a coronavirus aid relief because I damn sure missed out on it. And second of all, who the hell, what did you think? Do y'all not know this money is, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Yeah, so I actually wrote the story. I actually wrote the story. It was bad. He was, and it's crazy. He kind of implicated himself in a crime on the, talking about how he's using different schemes to get money from the government. If you're gonna do it, man, you gotta, you can't you can't make a rap about stealing from the government and don't think you're gonna get caught. So yeah, it wasn't the smartest choice.
Where's his village? Like, I guess they trying to rally together to get some money to get his ass out of jail. How old is he?
He is, as a matter of fact, I do have his age. This is gonna blow you away. 31-year-old Fontrell Antonio Banks.
He old enough to know better.
To know better.
He old enough to know better. He's old enough to read on what happened to people beforehand. And he's old, and he's too old to be talking about how he's stealing money.
Hey man. Hey man, how is everybody getting to this money? And I'm not. How do I sign up for this?
But now you don't want to sign up for this.
What is his village? That's dumb.
This type of money gets you locked up. We see so many people behind these PPP loans that are like taking out these loans and they buying Ferraris and
they smarter than everybody else. They smarter than everybody else and they gonna stun on everybody. And that's why they asses us in jail. That's dumb, y'all. Come on now.
Yeah. That's not the way.
Next up, Kim Taylor, can you say ate up was stupid? How did he even think? You right, Kim, stupid as hell. Next up, wherever she go, I'm gonna go. Oh, all right, so shout out and support to everyone that's already election day is 16 days away. More than 27 million ballots have already been cast according to the survey of elections officials by CNN and Edison Research. So shout out to the 27 million people who already took to the ballots and took to the polls and actually made their voices heard. From the way it looks on television, it looks like it's going in the right direction. But I'm pretty sure my man got a pump fake coming somewhere, so y'all better be prepared for it. I don't know if it's gonna come from Russia or somewhere. He got some.
Yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be some foolery on election night. That's why I'm telling everybody to vote early. I wouldn't even suggest mail-in ballots because these mailboxes are coming up missing. People are breaking in mailboxes. There's a lot of weird stuff that's happening around this election. So I would tell people to actually, if you can, definitely go vote early. And shout out to the people who are waiting 2 or 3 hours in line just to cast their vote. You guys are the real MVPs because this is we can't take 4 more years of this craziness.
Buffoonery is what it is.
Oh, you didn't
Insanity.
What's it going to Africa? I'm going to Europe. We already got our passports.
Okay.
I'm everybody, not everybody.
I'm looking at Ghana, man.
I'm just saying. Let's go set up shop in Ghana, Amir. Romeo. Rolling out Ghana edition. Let's go. Bye, y'all.
The funny part is everybody think we joking, but all of us gonna be at the airport on the same day. Like, hey, y'all, waving at each other.
Our producer just pointed out 2020 is the year of the return. She's right. Well, actually, it was 2019 was the year of the return because it was 16-19 to 2019. So last year was the year of the return. And a lot of Black Americans went over to Ghana. They had like a lot of celebrations, a lot of parties.
I was so mad.
Yeah, I missed it too, man. You had to get the typhoid shot to go to Africa, and I couldn't find anybody who had the shot because it's such a rare shot to get. So I missed going to Ghana, and I'm just upset with myself for that.
Me too. I didn't even make it to the point of getting a typhoid shot. I just looked up and was like, why is everybody in Africa on my time? I done missed the damn boat.
Before we move on, since y'all gonna be over there, I'm damn sure gonna be working on my British accent. Good day. This is Romeo. Good to see you today. Or something like that.
You going to Europe?
Going to Europe. I'm going over to England and I'm gonna be chilling with the Queen. I'm just gonna be chilling.
She not gonna welcome you. The Queen is not gonna welcome you. I just want you to know that.
Next up, we got what we got actually. Well, I guess people gonna follow suit just like Atlanta. Cause somebody said Atlanta damn sure not getting sick. Miami Beach will no longer enforce their curfew. Beginning this weekend, they're allowing clubs to stay open until 5 a.m. They are going back to their regularly scheduled program. And guess who the mayor said who prompted their return? Atlanta prompted their return. Clearly, Atlanta is having safe coronavirus because they are going to the clubs and going to the bars and they're not getting sick. Thank you, Atlanta.
Y'all immune. Y'all Atlanta, like everybody got it. So we just not gonna report it. We not gonna go to the doctors. We not gonna get tested because everybody got it. We're gonna get through it, y'all. let's just keep going.
And you know what I think is because somebody made the statement over the weekend. They were like, they know Corona is real, but they don't understand how people are going to the clubs in Atlanta. I personally think people are getting sick. They're just not telling people.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
They're not telling
a lot of people not getting tested too. So that's another thing. Like, in order for this thing to work, you really need to get tested almost every week or every 2 weeks. Like, it has to be constant testing. Like, you can't just test one time. Like, it has to be more like the test. Like, I think it needs to be a national thing where people have to get tested every week until this thing is over.
I agree. Because there's very, very, very few clubs that are doing temperature checks, right?
Very few.
You know what? I actually have to say this. Shout out to Magic City. Magic City is doing a temperature check. They actually have a double one. They have one where they checking you when you're going in, and then they have the little face monitor thingy or something like that. But I think that's one of the biggest problems that we have right now, man, is the fact that people are sick. They still going out. They ain't telling people they sick, and it just keep passing it and passing it. So it looks like the club is just popping. Nah, buddy. So Miami just gonna join in and welcome Miami to the fold. Thanks, Miami.
So Romeo, so is it only the clubs? Because I'm not interested in the clubs. I'm more interested in the beach. So if you say the beach is open and there's no curfew on the beach, then I'm gonna be down there this weekend.
I think they whole night going back to normal. She said the beach. Yeah, the entire nightlife is going back to normal.
I need a break. Y'all remember that song? I need a vacation. Like, I need a break, y'all, for real.
I see. I agree with you.
All right. So let's we got our next guest, very important figure that's speaking out in the I guess the Atlanta community, important voice. My brother Isaac Hayes III had to definitely bring him on this morning because a lot of foolery is happening around the hip hop community, entertainment community, and Isaac has really been a voice to kind of give like some real I guess credence to what's happening. I am A.R. Shaw here with Portia Monique, Tierra Berry, Romeo International. So Isaac, I want you to introduce yourself, and we're going to get into this thing today.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? You good?
Wonderful.
Good morning.
What's
hey, man,
that?
you don't follow Isaac on Twitter, I swear my boy is the most hilarious dude on the planet. He be killing.
All right.
Kill him and dropping knowledge, man. So we got I want to get into this, man. So we're going to go back into last week. Of course, the news broke that rapper Ice Cube actually met with the Trump campaign to, I guess he wanted to implement his contract with Black America into Trump's platinum plan is what they're calling it. And there's been a lot of things back and forth. And Isaac, you have definitely been kind of giving people education on what this plan really means. And like, I guess that it lacks a lot of policy, that it's really just a one sheet of nothing. And you've been kind of going back and forth. I saw Snoop hit your line yesterday. I saw that Russell Simmons hit your line yesterday. So a lot of people have been engaging with you on this conversation. Yeah. First off, just your initial thoughts when you heard that that Ice Cube had a meeting with the Trump campaign in regards to this platinum plan.
I was disappointed. I was disappointed that Ice Cube, I think, chose this time to have a conversation with the Trump campaign, or even have a conversation with Trump at all, right? And I say that because, like, I'm not opposed to anybody trying to have conversations to make change in this country and bring about change. Two things that are concerning to me are the timing and who you're talking to, right? And the result was Donald Trump, you know, in my opinion, the Trump campaign had used Ice Cube to use him as a reach out to Black men, like, look, see, everybody isn't for Biden. And I understand, you know, the issue behind that, but I wasn't excited about it. I mean, I'm like, you know, I just think, it's not the move at the right time. And I think it speaks to a bigger problem that we have.
Definitely. You actually, and there was a tweet that you put out a couple of days ago where you actually kind of broke down how illegitimate this platinum plan is. Can you talk about that?
Yeah.
So I think from my understanding is the $500 billion that the platinum plan came out with. That was Ice Cube's idea. It's $500 billion in the Black community. When you read the $500 billion in Trump's platinum plan, which is a 2-sheet plan, it's like a 2-page PDF. Anybody can read it. It take you like 5 minutes to read. It's not hard. It's just it right there. And the $500 billion is for hopes of getting, $500 billion for infrastructure spending for federal contracts. Like that ain't $500 billion to the hood, right? Which is, that's, if it ain't $500 billion to the hood, then what are we talking about? If it's not a cash infusion into communities of color, and I'm not saying giving $500 billion directly in the hands of Black people at all, but regardless, now you've attached yourself to a campaign that they're using you, they're putting you out here and leaving you kind of out here to dry. So you're left to defend yourself, saying that you're not supporting anybody, but it's all spin. So now Ice Cube has been put on the defensive. And, I had a really substantive conversation with Snoop yesterday. He shined some light on exactly why there's concern with the Biden campaign, but I had to counter and push back and say, I understand that, but you have to understand what's going on out here in the streets. People are early voting. We're trying to get this racist, demagogue, psychopath, narcissist out of office, right?
Right.
And, it's like, I know friends of mine that have stood in line for 11 hours to vote. And here you come like, I don't know, and uncertainty and all that. And I'm like, fam, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And to go a little further into depth with that, it speaks to a larger picture that I said before, which is something that I call exceptional Black person syndrome. This is a real thing for me. I'm sorry. EBPS, right? And what that means
Break
is
it down.
there's a small group of celebrities or entrepreneurs that have achieved a certain level of success that no other Black person has. And for whatever reason, some of them feel that it gives them the right to speak on behalf of all Black people.
Got it.
And you do not speak for me. I do not speak for any of you. I speak for myself. So, and here's the thing. People get so sensitive when you challenge people that are real famous and have huge platforms, like you being some sort of level of disrespect. I'm not calling nobody out of their name.
Right.
I'm not saying any of that. But even though Diddy has taken his words back, if Diddy says we're holding the Black vote hostage, or Jay-Z says we're past kneeling, or Ice Cube saying like I'm doing the contract with Black America.
Can't speak for all of us.
At any point, if you speak to us first and say, hey guys, this is my plan, this is what I want to come do, this is what I think we should do, then we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because I can ask all of you right now, like, tell me one time, just tell me right now, when some famous white person get on TV and speak on behalf of all white people.
Yep.
I'm just waiting. Like, the white people have decided.
Yep.
Talking about. I listen to country music. You surf. We two totally different people, cuz we ain't even in the same tax bracket or understand and all this shit. So my problem is exceptional Black person syndrome. What I do not have a problem with is those exact people that come from communities, their specific communities. They can speak on behalf of their community. You know what I'm saying? Wherever everybody comes from. I'm from Atlanta. I'm going to speak on behalf of my community, but not in the way that I speak for all people. I'm going to say, hey, this is what we need to do. I don't tell Atlantans what they need to do. The only time that I spoke in that fashion is when I was like, let's not go out here and burn our city down. Let's not go out here and riot and start fires. Protesting is fine. but let's not destroy our community. And I don't think anybody has a problem with anybody telling people to not be violent.
Yes,
But
no,
what
I don't
someone's
think
going to
so.
decide to do with their vote, as people are standing in line for 11 hours all across the country in line, and you're going to come in there and decide for me what we should do. I'm in line, fam. I've been here 10 hours.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, I don't get it.
So let me ask you this, Isaac. So, of course, we are all under the consensus that Ice Cube doesn't speak for the Black community. But if you could have gotten to him before he went and spoke to the Trump campaign, and or the Biden campaign reached out to him and they were like, no, we good until after the election, what would have been your message to him?
My message would have been that I've never had a problem for all those people that say you have to go speak to the seat of power, people in power to make change. I agree. Trump is different. Trump has always been different. Trump is radioactive. Trump will tank your business. Papa John's up out of here. The CEO of Uber up out of here. Like, you cannot align yourself with this man when he won't denounce white supremacy. He says completely racist things. He stokes the energy between police and the Black community. Mr. Law and Order, hit their head when you put them in the police car, and no mention of Breonna Taylor. You know, no mention of anybody but the kid that killed 2 people protesting in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Like, fam, you can't have a conversation with a guy like that. Hypothetically speaking, if this were Ted Cruz or let's rewind back, if it was Mitt Romney or something, I feel you. You can go talk to Mitt Romney. I'll go have a conversation with him, because Mitt Romney's not like a complete asshole like Donald Trump. He's just not like he's not a complete like Donald Trump telling people to put bleach in their arm and call them players sons of bitches and calling them Black women dogs.
Just ridiculous.
He got multiple allegations of sexual assault, and so you gonna go talk, you gonna holler at him like that guy. He broke. He ain't got no money. He a scammer. He's the biggest scammer of all time. He's spoiled. He he got coronavirus, spreading it all over to everybody and shit. Like, that guy, cool. You gonna go talk to him? I would have told Cube, famo, this ain't the guy. This isn't the person to have a conversation with. And we also have to we have to stop creating this false equivalency between Trump and Biden. There is no equivalency. Everything that Cube has in his plan, right? Donald Trump can sign an executive order like, he gave I think he gave like $30 billion to Puerto Rico with a stroke of a pen, like, here, Puerto Rico, $30 billion. Like, he can do that in the Black community. He ain't do that. He's the president of the United States. If he wants to make change, he can make change whenever he wants. But he's dangling change like a carrot in front of Black people, and we fighting on that shit. And I'm like, yo, fam, that's not what you do. He could pass laws tomorrow. He be like, yo, let me send this bill over to Congress. Give Black people all the money that they want. They got trillions of dollars. They still got money they haven't given out yet to Black businesses. What, 2%? Only Black people got 2% of all the loans, small business loans and stuff like that. Only 2%. Fam, he can say, let's get 45% out here tomorrow. Man, it's all BS. So you just got to stay away from a guy like that. It's too much at stake. We have to remove this fool from office and start fresh.
How does because I get confused as I'm watching the both of them. I've realized that on the Trump end, like those Republicans, they fall in line. Regardless, it's funny. Like regardless of whatever they say or whatever he do, it's kind of like, hey, this is the line y'all need to get in, stay in this line. But then when it comes to the Democratic Party or it comes to the Biden Kamala, it's always these questions that keep popping up. Can she do this? Is he possible of doing this? Da 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 da. But they never do that on his end, and I think that's what's confusing people.
Nah, but if you dig a little deeper into that behavior, it is because this has nothing to do with government. This has to do with white supremacy.
Yeah, Black people are scared.
No, white people are scared. This is what I mean. White supremacy is on the line, right? I know I haven't checked this year, but every year that Donald Trump was president, more white people died in America than were born because of suicide, obesity, and the opioid pandemic. So their numbers were declining at a faster rate, right? So boom. So now we like, hold up. We need bans for Muslims. We need borders for Mexicans, and we need brutality for Black people. And the survival of your culture. And if we're 100, if the roles were reversed, right? If Black people ran America and we were however many 60-something% of the population, we'd be trying to hold on to our stuff too. We'd be like, wait a minute.
Right.
It's a little uneven around here. So you got to be realistic about the idea of what they call extinction anxiety, right? White extinction anxiety, because minorities, people of color will outnumber white people in like 20 years in America. So they're trying to slow that stuff down, right? So that's what that's about. That's about, hold up, we need to shut all this shit down because they're trying to hold on to power. But here's the problem. Regardless of whether or not Donald Trump wins or loses, the next 20 years in America are going to be the most tumultuous, in my opinion, because name a country on earth where a multitude of ethnicities, religious beliefs, racial backgrounds, economic backgrounds, genders, all share power. There ain't one. The only one that's tried to do it is America, right?
Right.
And so for America to live up to the idea of what America is, we got to sit down and chop this power pie up. And that's what we're about to do. So I think the Republican Party has no problem with all this diversity and all this opportunity as long as they remain in power the entire time. As long as they run shit, it's cool. We'll dish out a little to the Latino community and the Black community, but don't get it twisted. White, make America white again. Like, it's cool. But no, fast forward 20 years from now, you're going to have a gay Muslim president.
Yeah.
You're going to have a
and it's necessary.
A Ghanaian-born African American woman president. Like, fam, that's what this is about. If America wants to live up to its ideals, we have to live up to the potential of everything that it can be. And the Republican Party don't want that. They want to pack the court, and Donald Trump getting rid of he said that racial sensitivity training was racist to white people. I'm out.
Isn't that crazy?
I gotta go.
Crazy. Like, who you talking to, sir?
That's
and
what he
people
said.
roll with it. People were just like, yeah, that's true. He's speaking the truth. Like, who are y'all talking to though? That's so idiotic. Like,
racial sensitivity training is racist to white people. Okay. And y'all finna go talk to him. You think he finna give y'all anything? Cause like, for real, he lied to everybody. He lied to his wife.
He lies. Like, I don't even know how y'all can trust anything. He lies.
Our focus, and something that I relayed to Snoop yesterday, should be what all of us should be doing, and people with platforms, is highlighting people like Jamie Harrison to get Lindsey Graham's goofy ass up out of the Senate. Let's get Mitch McConnell up out of here, because here's the backup plan. I tell everybody to vote why you should vote. Because let's say Trump does win. Okay, but if we get the Senate, we impeach him. Let's play this game. Let's play the like. This is what I and I told Snoop this yesterday. He agreed, and we need to work on this. We need to have a convention, an annual convention in this country, on the level of South by Southwest and the Revolt Music Conference and A3C. But the entire focus of the convention is civics. I don't want to talk about what needs to happen in the Black community. I don't want to talk about what jobs for these people or equality or anything. We need to have a convention that teaches us how government works. How government works, period. Like, how it works on the local level, the state level, and the federal level. Because then you can construct a plan on how to implement whatever strategy you want to get the job done. And if Cube don't pull up to that, if Diddy don't pull up to that, if Oprah don't pull up to that, if everybody don't pull up to that one, everybody cap. If you don't pull up to that one, because we get on TV and have these conversations and don't necessarily understand how government works, right? So, and we need to follow the blueprint. And Atlanta, a city like Atlanta, we need to share our blueprint. I told Snoop, I sent Snoop Maynard. I sent Snoop the Maynard documentary. I said, watch this. You want to see how democracy works on behalf of Black people, how voting can work on behalf of Black people? I sent him the Maynard documentary. And he wants to show it to a bunch of people saying, this is how you do it. You gather all your people, right? And then you say, boom, we're going to put this person in power. And then they speak on behalf of us. That's what I mean by exceptional black person syndrome. No, let's not speak on behalf of black people. Let's find a candidate. Let's find the next Obama.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Let's find the next Kamala and put our money where their mouth is. That's what you do. That's how you make a difference in the change.
I was asking Amir this a couple of days ago. I get confused on black celebrities and positioning because what I've watched over the past couple of weeks, I'm a big Avengers fan. Chris Hemsworth, The Rock, Ellen, like these prominent celebrity, white or other colors, will come out literally and say, "I'm voting for Biden," and that's what it is. But on the black end, I have not heard one black prominent celebrity. I mean, prominent like a Denzel or Oprah. Like I haven't heard one prominent person say, "You know what, my ticket is going this way." Does that affect how people view the election? Being that the influencers and the celebrities have that type of voice, because The Rock with 200 million followers coming out and saying, "This is the way I'm going." He set a standard for those who were on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, well, if The Rock is feeling like this, maybe I should feel like this. Or if you know, does that make a difference?
Well, I honestly don't think that it's really up to celebrities to really make those kinds of statements, because I don't think that elections should be partisan from the perspective of a celebrity. I think we can all encourage people to vote. If you want to go that direction, it's fine. If you really want to stand out there and stand behind your candidate, and with someone like Trump, I understand why. I get it. But for the most part, celebrities just tell people to get out there and vote and let their voice be heard, which is cool and fine. I think we put too much pressure on people to represent us when we can represent ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to do the work. Like, we got to understand, like, how important the culture of voting and participating in Black culture, right, is not part of our heritage, right? Everybody know, no raisins in the potato salad, take your shoes off when you come in my house. Like, we have a specific behaviors and culture that we know, but the culture of voting is not part of that. Not part of our culture. We have to make voting part of our culture. We have to understand that. All right, cool. We gonna wild out on our holiday. If we can celebrate Kwanzaa, dog, and Juneteenth, we can celebrate voting. We can really put our energy, because that's the true path to freedom. And I know a lot of people have no faith in the system and how it works, because I think people want immediate change. I think protest is almost a way to force the hand of immediate change, which is good, but you got to follow it up with voting. I always say you can't protest injustice but not participate in justice. You have to do that. We can march all day long, but if we ain't leaving the protest and say, you know what, I'm about to become an attorney, I'm about to join the police force, I'm about to become a politician. If we're not doing that, then we still leave the decisions up to other people in our community to speak on our behalf, which is so important. So we also, as a community, have to step up. So I applaud the celebrities that get out there and stand up. And in the Black community, I think that we have this thing about not being wrong or looking like ignorant. Nobody wants to stand out there hardcore and pick the person, and then they just bust their ass like, you said so-and-so's gonna win. Now your credibility is shot, right? That's a tough decision to make. But if you're doing it for the right reasons and you're passionate about what you're doing, I have no problem. Like, I've backed plenty of candidates that have won and lost, you know what I'm saying, but I put my energy behind it. But I'm gonna continue to do that, because it doesn't matter. It's all about getting people to vote and getting the agenda across.
So you got a chance to speak with Snoop, and I know during the exchange on Twitter and Instagram that Snoop was basically saying that you should hit Ice Cube line and have a conversation with him. If Snoop makes this happen, or you guys get a chance to speak, What do you think will be the next step for Cube in this whole thing? I mean, right now he's already done pretty much shown his hand with this, with this connection. What do you think should be his next step?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's up for him to decide. I still believe that as passionate as he is about his contract with Black America, there's a better way to implement that agenda than going to speak to a guy like Donald Trump. And I feel like we worry about the macro and not the micro. Whatever Trump's, I guarantee you, Ice Cube has a better shot at getting his contract with Black America passed in LA. Or go to Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and let him implement it for California first. Start work your way up the chain. I know they have those relations. I'm pretty sure Ice Cube could get Gavin Newsom on the phone tomorrow, like, oh, governor, this is what I want to do. And Gavin Newsom is the type of guy that will listen to some of those ideas. He's already done those things in California, right? Like Gavin Newsom has already done away with private prisons. He's rolled back use of force policy in the police force, I think for the first time in like 140 something years. It has to be absolute necessary force. You can't shoot nobody for reasonable force no more. They passed the Crown Act where you can't discriminate against people having dreads or lines in their hair, color in their hair. You can't do that at job or school, right? He took Trump off the ballot, you know what I'm saying, for not having his tax returns passed. It's a whole bunch of things that Gavin Newsom has already done. So I go holler at him first, like, yo. Now you have a little bit more culture capital to take it to the next level. Ice Cube got the contract with Black America passed in California. Bro, that would be huge. I mean, all those people of color in California got some money, right? All the things that he got in his contract. So now you can say, well, let's try this. Let's take this. Let's try to pass this in Alabama, or let's try to get this passed in Houston or Atlanta or whatever. Now you're building up culture capital. Now I'm more inclined to say, shit, Ice Cube out here getting this shit changed, cuz. How you get this shit passed. But running all the way to the top, that ain't. I mean, I would just say start local. Kind
of like Martin Luther King Jr. did. He started local. He got different communities. He was going to different cities, and that made it to the top. It made the president listen to him.
And everybody wasn't always a fan of MLK, but it's still the type of fact that the civil rights movement started with Rosa Parks. You know what I'm saying? Small incidences, right? Like, I'm not giving up my seat on the bus. And then those things grew. Miami bus boycott. These things grow into it and they snowball, and then you gain culture capital because people are watching you affect change on a smaller level as you continue to grow. And that's what candidates do. I mean, Kamala Harris is the vice presidential nominee. All right, she starts out as the DA of San Francisco, right? Then she becomes the Attorney General of California. Then she becomes U.S. Senator. Now she's running for vice president. So my point is, she's gained her culture capital too by participating in the same process. And that's just how we have to do it as politicians.
So it's been a lot of things that's happening. I've seen discussions like, when people are talking about Cube on social media, where people are not really doing their research. So there are a lot of people saying, yeah, Biden doesn't have a plan. So we're going to pull up both plans. We're going to show the Lift Every Voice plan by the Biden campaign. And we're going to show Trump's plan, platinum plan. So let's show Biden's plan first that he has. So this is Biden's plan. And you guys can just go on the website, the Biden-Harris website. It's the Lift Every Voice, the Biden plan for Black America. It's been there. You can read it thoroughly. And I just want Black people to take time to read it because a lot of people are just saying, okay, Biden doesn't have a plan for Black America. What is he doing for Black America? He has a plan.
Can we go back up to the bullet points right quick? Just so that we can kind of get an overview of what his plan is doing. Keep going up a little bit. Right there, the Biden plan. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. If you can see that portion, just read a little bit of that. So the Biden plan for Black America will advance the economic mobility of African Americans and close the racial wealth and income gaps. It will expand access to high quality education and tackle racial inequity in our education system. It will make far-reaching investments in ending health disparities by race. It will strengthen America's commitment to justice. It will make the right to vote and the right to equal protection real for African Americans. And it will address environmental justice. Okay.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Absolutely.
Please.
When politicians, whether it's Trump or Biden, and I'll say Biden first, make these statements about what their plans will do, you also have to remember that he needs the House and the Senate to do this. Some of these things he can do in an executive order, but we have to play the long game. So now, if we go to Trump's plan, if y'all pull Trump's plan up, go ahead and pull on old Trumpy Trump little flyer, his flyer up. Right? So,
oh God. Okay, the Platinum Plan, President Trump's pillars: opportunity, security, prosperity, and fairness. Actually, if you can make this a little bit bigger.
There we go.
Yeah, so by achieving historic employment levels for Black Americans, as well as increasing access to capital for new businesses, President Trump has been committed to ensuring all Black Americans can achieve the American dream.
Oh, okay.
Security, by signing into law the celebrated.
This is stuff he's already done.
Okay.
Or he's saying he's done.
Right. Okay. So by signing into law.
Let's roll down to. All right, here we go. Oh, go. I'll go back up.
Jobs. That's hilarious.
Go back up right quick, Ashley.
This is great. I love this.
Okay. What is the top? What is the
3 million new jobs for the Black community? Okay, he just pulled that out of his ass. All right.
President Trump's promise to Black Americans over the next 4 years? Okay.
Yep, over the next 4 years.
It's the safe urban neighborhoods with highest policing standards. Are you serious?
On Black safe urban neighborhoods with the highest policing standards.
Can you use access to? That's bullshit.
Access to better education. Like how though? Like what are your metrics? What are your measurements? What are your KPIs? Like lies. That's all this is lies.
No, scroll down. Let's go to 500. Let's go to Ice Cube's 500 billion. See how it says access to capital? Now scroll down. Stop right there. There's your 500 billion in jobs. Read that.
Okay, we can't see it. Okay, make it a little bigger.
Make it bigger.
Seek infrastructure
funding that will lead to widespread growth in the annual 500 billion federal contracting opportunities.
What is that? What, fam? Tell me what that means, cuz. Where?
What is that? Right. Who they talking to? What does that mean? Like, don't do that.
But my point is, Trump could do this now. He could just here's the bag.
Right.
He got it. Go ahead. Congress can pass this. If Trump went to Mitch McConnell and says, I want to give $500 billion to Black people, the Senate, this House and the Senate be like, all right, let's do it. Pull it up. The House is Democratic. Let's go. The Senate, if the Senate wants to follow what the president wants to do, we can do it. He's the president. He can do what he wants to do right now.
We've seen how fast the CARES Act was passed. So,
right.
We saw that, right?
500 billion. The Platinum Plan get passed in a weekend if you wanted it to. That's what I mean, though. You're the president, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, I get you. There's your $500 billion that Ice Cube said he gives. He said infrastructure. Wait, so okay, so the $500 billion is in the form of jobs in the annual $500 billion federal budget for contracts. Got you. Okay, I feel you. You got to read the fine print. But my point is, that's a 2-pager. We could read that. We could read that in like 4 minutes live on the air and be like, oh, okay. He said he gonna give $20 billion to broadband internet access. What?
Yeah.
Damn. Why don't you give $20 billion to the hood?
Right. Do something that's really gonna matter. Right.
So before we let you go, man, just what's your message to Black America right now, man? Because it's like there's so many voices and so many people who my thing is that people not really taking time to educate themselves on this whole process. Yeah. And I think you gave a good point yesterday about football. You gave a sports analogy where everybody can relate to. Like, okay, you can be passionate about sports, but if you don't know how to get on the field and you don't know what a down and out is, if you don't know the holes, you don't know what the sidelines is, you're going to be lost in the game, regardless of how passionate you are. So the importance of educating yourself on policy before you even putting yourself out there.
Not even policy, fundamental civics. Those are the rules. The fundamental civics is where out of bounds is, how many points for a touchdown. Like, I get it. So once you understand that, that's like, come on, that's like, See, I'm not trying. That's what I'm saying. I'm about to say something crazy, and I know people gonna think I'm being sarcastic, but it's like walking on a football field with a baseball bat. And fam, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Talking about I'm finna hit a home run. No, you not, because you're not even in the right game, dog. Like you playing the wrong game right now. Like that's not even you don't even understand the rules of how this works. So, you know, it's like walking up to the referee saying, look, man, I want a touchdown right now. We the people demand you give the Falcons 7 points right now on behalf of all the Falcons fans. We demand it. If not, we just not gonna play the game. Okay, then the other team win. Okay, then we just the Vikings win. Game over. Let's go home. Like, okay. What you mean? You finna tell us to do? What you finna tell us to do? God, get out of here. No.
Yeah, man. So, man, we appreciate you for coming on and definitely giving us some clarity, man. Of course, we want everybody to go out and early vote if you can.
There's two more weeks of early voting. 2 more, and we're coming out in record numbers. This is the biggest advantage that we do have. I'm not gonna say don't do the mail-in ballot, but I literally was supposed to get a check in the mail, and it ain't even show up. I was supposed to get it like 3 weeks ago. I was like, I ain't playing, and my money's showing up. Them ballots definitely ain't showing.
Right.
You better mask up and stand in line 6 feet. We can do this. It ain't that hard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We with you, definitely.
That's what it is, bro, man. Appreciate you for coming on, man, and always dropping knowledge, man. We really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Later.
Peace.
We might need to bring him back next week too.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, man. We had to have this discussion, man, because it's like it's a lot of misinformation that's happening on social media. People don't really take time to really just Google. Like Google is your best friend. So definitely you got to take time to really do some research.
All right. So we got our next guest.
Yeah, we're gonna switch gears. New artist, Rubber Band OG.
Good morning.
Yo, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
So what's going on? This is A.R. Shaw here with Portia Monique, Tierra Berry. I want you to introduce yourself for the people.
My name Rubber Band OG. You know what I'm saying? From Montgomery, Alabama. Think it's a Game Records. New artist, man, coming out.
That's what it is, man. TIG representing. So let's get into your story, man. Let's talk about being a native of Alabama and getting into the rap game. How did it all come about for you?
Really, I just it was something I just was doing for the hood. Really, like I was the only rapper from the hood, so I just recording and we'll take it to the club and like pay the DJ to get it played. And from there, man, we looked up the whole club, rapping it word for word. We put a couple videos out and started doing like 100,000 views, and man, I ain't never looked back.
How long ago was that?
It's probably like 2 or 3 years ago.
Do you feel like everything that's happening right now came quick, or do you feel like you've been in the trenches for a minute grinding it out?
I feel like it came quick when I took it serious. Like I said, like I was just playing with it, but time I like really took it serious, like looked at like the rap game like a job, it was over. It happened quick.
So what was the deciding factor that made you take it serious?
The money.
Oh, that money. Yeah, money talks.
Yeah, when I started making a little money off, I was like, shit, I feel like that was the route to go.
And then you came to Atlanta. Like, how did you link up with Think It's a Game, being an Alabama native?
Like I said, like once the music started spreading a little bit, I just got a call out the blue from one day, and like for real, I thought it was like somebody playing on the phone. It was like, this Think It's a Game. Can you have a meeting with us? And we had the meeting, and from there, like I was going back and forth to Atlanta like 3 or 4 months. Then we went like to Miami for 2 weeks. Like the whole process took like 6-7 months before I even signed to him.
Well, let's Romeo International, man. Welcome, bro.
What's up with you?
Let's jump into this hard. between the pandemic, between clubs and shows, that whole situation changing to a more digital and social type of atmosphere. You being a new artist, what are your thoughts right now on the whole switching of the music industry, or were you already in play socially when all of this came about?
Not really. It was something I had to adjust to for real. Like, I was, you know what I'm saying, like being in the club every other week to, like the shows stopped rolling because of the pandemic. And then like I really ain't used to talk on social media now. So I really had to just find ways, you know what I'm saying, to interact with the fans, keep the music going. But I spent most of the time like in the studio. So it did give me a chance like to build up on music. Like since the pandemic, I probably recorded like 100 songs.
Gotcha.
Like when these cities open back up, I've been doing like outside shows. I'm coming in there with the mask on if they let us.
That would be my other question. Do you feel, because I know it's a choice type of thing, each and every individual. Do you feel a certain type of responsibility when it comes to, because you're the artist, people see you influence people. Do you feel some type of responsibility when it comes to, hey, I am going to wear a mask when I'm out, or I am going to at least make sure that my team know that this is what the plan is? Like, how do you feel about that?
You just saying like wearing like the mask and like general, or
well, just like wearing a mask in general, or social distancing, and I'm asking because as an artist, how you interact with your fans and stuff like that. Like, do you feel like you have to set a standard?
Man, I do it so I don't bring it to the house, man. I got like I got 4 kids, so I don't try to bring it to the house, man.
I respect it.
So that's definitely a good thing, man. You gotta protect others during this time. We're gonna play a snippet of your video, and we're gonna kind of get you to break down some bars after we show a snippet of it.
For sure.
Switching up my car, switching up the clothes. Rapper still in style, got me switching up my flow. I love having threesomes, I like switching up my hoes. Hit them with that fire, made them stop, drop, and roll. First I ran my bag up, then I switched the swag up. What the fuck you mad for? Better run your cash up. VIP in every club, see me rolling gas up. Sliding in a hot box, had to switch the tags up. Sliding in.
Okay.
With that.
Okay.
They gonna stop, drop, and roll.
So you got to break down the bars, man. Give us your favorite 8 bars, and then give us the meaning behind it.
Probably the hook. I be switching up my car, switching up the clothes. Rapper still in style, got me switching up my flow. I love having threesomes. I like switching up my hit on with that 5, made them stop, drop, and roll. First I ran my bag up, then I switched the swag up. What the fuck you mad for? Better run your cash up. VIP in every club, see me rolling gas up. Slid in the hot box, we had to switch the tags up. That slide in the hot box, I had to switch the tags up. They're you go handle some business with the enemies. You don't want them to get the tag no more. Switching up the cars and clothes, that been something I've been doing lately, you know what I'm saying? Got the bag right. We used to be broke riding the little Hondas. We got the bag right. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. I ain't gonna get into the threesome line and all that.
Okay. Yeah, it's a morning show.
Yeah,
we get it. Man, working with Fly, man, because Fly definitely a businessman, entrepreneur. Like, what have you learned from Fly just being around him, just as a businessman? Like, what have you learned from the moves that he makes?
Man, Fly one of the realest. when I first started getting that bag, he was like, man, you can't be blowing your money, man. On jewelry and this. He really just sat me down and taught me like the bigger picture. You got to be saving that money like for the kids. Ain't really, you know what I'm saying, about you and for to make sure like the money continue to grow. Like when you gone, you know what I'm saying, your kids still got money, your family still got money. So he really showed you the bigger picture, like about keeping that money coming forever instead of just living for right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was when I was getting the money. I'll probably run through 20 and I ain't got number 25. You know what I'm saying? But he taught me so much, man, like just real estate. Man, he got me into so much stuff, man. Like right now, I go buy a cheap house before I buy a chain. I go buy 2-3 houses. They so cheap where I'm from. So it's like he showed me a whole different like an outview. I mean, a different look on life, period.
That's what's up, man.
In the verse where you said people stealing swag, that line. How you stay your foot grounded, man? How do you not get caught up in the industry? Because like you said, the money will come, but like you said, most of these cats don't even know how to manage, do whatever with their money. Like, how do you not get caught up in the industry as an artist, as a new artist?
I really just stopped watching what people do for real. Like I really don't even, you know what I'm saying? I really don't care what they doing. I just do me. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to get caught up in who got the newest car, who got the new jewelry. So I don't even look at it. I don't pay attention. I just grind and do me. You know what I'm saying? I'm only focused on Rubber Band OG. So I just stay out of that.
That's what it is, man. We appreciate you for coming on, man. How can people follow your movement?
At Rubber Band OG on all social media. Y'all follow me, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all follow me too. I'm gonna follow y'all back at Rubber Band OG.
Yeah, right now, bro.
That's what it is, man. We're gonna follow you, man. Man, continue doing what you're doing, man. Continue representing Alabama, man. Continue representing your kids and your family, man. Much respect over here.
Man, appreciate y'all for having me, man. Anytime.
That's what it is, man. All love.
Hey, when it take off a little bit, the music take off a little bit, man. We got to come back and do this over, man.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it big. We're gonna do it big.
All right.
All right, Rubber Band. Peace.
All right.
Peace out.
Man, get them with that fire, make them stop, drop, and roll. Hey, man.
Hey, you catch it, man. Yeah, you catch it. I can see, as a DJ, you can hear it in the club, right? You can hear that like going off in the club.
That is stuff, man. Nah, this is the one thing as a DJ that I like about new artists, because I know they come to me and you all the time, right? With me, it's more of a physical thing. Can I play this song? Can I see people moving to the song? And can I see people actually partying enjoying the song? So I actually have to look at it that way first before I look at it as a editorial type of statement. But I will say, from what I just heard, you absolutely right, man. I see Atlanta. Hey, Miami open too. So hey, I see Atlanta and Miami. But everybody
Atlanta. All right, Portia, what you got for reports? I know we
got
a few minutes.
We got a couple minutes. But this is a story out of Detroit that we have to talk about. So this lady was on her way back from Vegas coming to Detroit, and she said she woke up on a plane. I don't know which airline it was, but I have some suspicions. But she said she woke up on a plane to a prominent pastor urinating on her.
I'm confused.
I'm confused too.
I have a lot of questions.
Y'all.
So I actually did a story. So what's happening is they saying that the guy was on medication and he was sleepwalking. So she was in the back of the plane, like she was the very last seat in the back of the plane. So they're saying that he was sleepwalking, and she thought that he was in the restroom, and he started urinating on her.
He was sleepwalking on the plane.
They say he was on some meds, and he got a good PR team. He better have said something like that, because you sitting up there peeing on somebody. Okay, So anyway, she said she woke up and she was sitting next to her sister and she felt something warm on her and she looked up and he was
This is why I sit at the window. Can I get a window seat? Don't want nobody next to me.
You're not. Everybody else done flew a plane before. You ain't sleepwalking on no plane. There's not like I don't know what.
So to his defense, if you own some medications and you really don't know how the medications affect you, sometimes you can't do it. I have sleepwalked. What's the purpose? I have been accused of sleepwalking before where I don't remember anything.
I think sleepwalking is one thing, but sleepwalking on a plane and missing the bathroom sounds like an excuse.
Okay,
and then they said, okay, so I'm gonna wrap the story up, but then they said that she had to sit and fly the rest of the plane with her wet clothes on.
Oh,
yeah, because she didn't have no dry clothes on the plane.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, yeah.
He was that fired up.
Anyway, I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God, it's right. It's gone. What else we got? Are we doing my other story about I don't know. So we are doing y'all. Okay, so COVID is back on the rise again. And one of the reasons why I could be something similar to this story because in Brooklyn, New York, there was a 10,000 guest wedding that was planned for 2 days. It got canceled. It got vetoed. It got shut down by the governor. Cuomo was just like, yep, no, we're not having a 10,000 person wedding.
No.
That's COVID central.
First of all, if there wasn't COVID, why 10,000 people at your wedding?
Who knows 10,000 people?
In general,
people that you got 10,000 friends.
Have it. We should really think about our community and what's happening with our community. I mean,
that affects our community because if they're going out and they're having,
you're shouting, and when you did all that shouting,
I wasn't. I think it's my microphone that's really close to my mouth, and it appears that I'm shouting. I'm not shouting.
And you put your hands up. You really thought you were saying something.
I'm really animated, so sometimes I speak with my hands.
You just control that.
I'm following leadership because your hands is up too. I'm just saying.
Laughing too. You might want to take those.
Romeo and Amir is laughing. Tiara laughed. Tiara was laughing too.
Wow.
I'm just saying, 10,000 people is too much. And then, they go out into the community and they spread it. New York is a close knit.
Yeah, Brooklyn is tight.
Community. And it was just a no. I don't know how many people.
And they could have had black guests. You never know. 10,000 people. I'm sure at least one of them was black.
Let's run it, Amir.
You say what?
Run it, man. What you got?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go. Ashley, what you got? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, man, this is a crazy report out of New Orleans. A black man was released after 24 years in prison for stealing a lawn tool. And it just shows you how crazy like some laws are in the South and how they pretty much they give black people bad laws. If you don't have an attorney, it could be very bad, or a good attorney. So this situation was this happened decades ago. It was a black man. He was accused. Let me get his name. It's kind of it's pulling up. But anyway, he was accused of stealing a lawn tool, and he was sentenced to, I think, life in prison. And he recently just got an appeals. So the man's name is his name is Fairwayne Bryant. Fairwayne Bryant. That's his name. He was recently released on October the 15th after serving 24 years. So in 1997, they're saying that he attempted to steal hedge clippers for lawn use. And this was when he was 38 years old. Wow. And this was like a 3 strikes you out type thing.
So
he had one.
he didn't even steal them. He attempted to.
So
steal
He was,
them?
he was attempting to steal them onto.
So Amir, did he have 2 offenses already, and then that was like his third strike?
Yeah, it was like one. He had one for forging a check, in 1989, and another one for burglary in 1992. So this is really an economics type of situation where one is so poor they're trying to figure out how to make money any type of way.
Right.
And yeah, he was stealing a lawn tool, I guess, to maybe go to work with this tool. And it kind of reminds me of those pig laws back in the day that they did post-slavery to kind of lock black people up who didn't really, they couldn't feed themselves, so they would steal like livestock, and they would so this was a crazy situation that just happened like recently. So it actually went to the Louisiana Supreme Court, and they initially denied his appeal, but due to media coverage, he finally got released on October the 15th. So congratulations to Fair Wayne Bryant for finally getting out of jail. And
he should be on the show.
Yeah, we should definitely get Fair Wayne on Wayne Bryant on the show.
File for the appeal. That's a meaningful story for our community. The prison industrial complex, and that's the principle of what I'm saying. There are issues that everybody should be able to agree on. Education, healthcare, jobs, that affects everybody.
Kind of reminds me of that movie Just Mercy, starring Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx. Is it not necessarily the same story, but a similar story about a Black man being incarcerated far too long and how to get him out.
Yeah, but it also speaks to the point of the prison industrial complex. They're just making money. Like literally on the lawn tool, you paid for that 1,000,000 times over.
All right, so let's go to this next report before we do our positive thoughts. So there's this big thing when the stimulus checks, when people were issued their stimulus checks, a lot of people were wondering, should prisoners, individuals who are serving time, should they get their prison checks? So they should get their stimulus checks. So initially, the government decided not to give stimulus checks, but actually a judge recently overruled, saying that that prison individuals who are in prison, they have a right to that $1,200 stimulus check. But the thing is, we don't know if this is actually going to continue or go further, because the government, the IRS, has said that they're going to actually fight this decision because they don't want inmates to actually have access to this $1,200 stimulus check, which is kind of, it seems like it will be illegal. But this is going to be tied up in court for a while, back and forth between the government and, I guess, prisoners' rights. Like, do they really have the right to have access to the $1,200 stimulus check? So that's one we need to kind of follow moving forward.
Absolutely. Interesting. Your positive thoughts? Positive thoughts?
Who's starting off? Okay, well, I guess I'll go first.
Great, Miss Berry. Excellent job.
My positive thought of the day derives from one of my favorite scriptures, Psalms 27:3, that says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." So as we start going into this week, it's Monday. I love to manifest on Mondays. And I would just say, as a man thinketh, so is he. So be careful of your thoughts, because what you put out there, whether it be good, you'll yield good. If it's bad, you'll yield bad. So bringing it old school with the Bible this morning. I'm going to pass the ball to Portia.
Hey, y'all. Hey, so it is Monday, Motivational Mondays, and I'm going to keep it cute and sweet and short and simple. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Go out and vote. We got 16 days left. Get your booties to the poll. Get your booty to the poll. Okay, I am going to pass the ball to Amir Shah.
All right, let's get it. My positive thought of the day is to research. Definitely do your research when it comes to the political process. Just because you see something and someone is passionate about something, you may need to understand and check who's being passionate if they've done their research. So really take time to educate yourself on this entire system so you can understand how it works. Of course, if you're voting, like we said before, definitely Google the ballots to understand the individuals who are on the ballot, the laws that could be passed during this election. So definitely take time out. If you can scroll on Instagram, if you can scroll on Twitter or even Facebook, you can take some moments to educate yourself on the political process. Let's go, Romeo.
Y'all so nice this morning, man. I was just gonna say, hit them with that fire, make them. That's a joke. Hey, check this out, man. Oscar worthy. My positive thought of the day. Hashtag. It is never too late to be great, people. I promise you. You can start now. You can start tomorrow, but it's never too late to be great. Mustard Steve, get us out of here on this Monday.
Hey, thanks to everybody tuning in, Rolling Out AM with Romeo International, Oscar Worthy, Tiara Berry, and of course, A.R. Shaw. We want to thank you for tuning in. Portia Monique.
Portia.
He forgot me on purpose, y'all. That's all right. I wasn't going to say
nothing. I was
nothing.
like, where's Portia?
I wasn't going to say nothing. I was just going to let it roll.
Miss Berry.
I'm not getting in between y'all. I was just wondering where the acknowledgement
disrupted my Detroit concept because I was making a point. Everybody was adult here.
Mm-hmm.
We need everybody in Detroit to vote. Michigan is an important state. The activity of voting, be an active voter. Not just for this election. Imagine a new country, imagine a new lifestyle, imagine Blacks not being persecuted and people kneeling on our necks. Like, don't vote for you, vote for this community, the Black community, and creating a new reality for our kids. So Detroit's a big market. We need you to represent. We need everybody. We got Senator Warnock on the Georgia ballot running for Senate in Georgia. So there are lots of great seats. We can change this country today. So go out and vote today. Do not wait. So this is Rolling Out AM. I'll do it again, Miss Berry, with Miss Berry, Romeo, Oscar Worthy, A.R. Shaw, Munson Steed, and Portia Monique in Detroit. Wake up call, Rolling Out AM. Peace. We'll see you tonight at a seat at the table with C.D. Moody. Peace.
All right. See y'all tonight. See y'all tomorrow. We'll holla. Go vote. Vote.
Holla.
Go booty to
Early.
the vote. Booty to the